Hey everyone, how's it going? 10 members are present. The quorum has been met. From here on out, let the council begin. Today's deliberation shall be about Miles Edgeworth's aptitude and ability as a prosecutor. Let our members discuss this matter with a clear conscience of the goddess of law. A clear conscience, eh? Don't make me laugh. Courtney, please give us your report. On April 5th, Prosecutor Edgeworth carried out an illegal investigation and resisted arrest. He was arrested by 2 of our members who caught him in the act, myself and Blaze DeBest. Prosecutor Edgeworth disrupted the investigation of attorney Jill Crane's murder. He claims that the culprit, Kay Faraday, was arrested without sufficient evidence. Even now, his claim remains unchanged. Tell us more about the murder incident. On April 5th, the victim's body was found here in the PIC meeting room. Regarding the details, I, Sebastian DeBest, the best prosecutor, will enlighten you. The prosecutor in charge, Sebastian DeBest, will explain the rest in detail. The murder happened on the night of April 4th. The victim was one Jill Crane. On the same night, a black market auction was being held in this very meeting room. Look at that fat dude. I guess Miss Crane was taking part in the auction. Yep. The murder occurred in the middle of the auction, did it not? When Miss Crane was found, she was dressed like the conductor of the auction. However, based on the fact that the auction continued after the murder occurred, I deduced that Miss Crane could not have been the conductor. Bravo. You weren't the one who made that deduction. Sebastian, please show everyone the basis for the arrest of the culprit. You got it, Justine. Kay Faraday was unable to bear the weight of her good conscience. I believe you mean her guilty conscience. Yeah. It was her guilty conscience that drove her to confess the crime. According to her confession, on the roof of this building, she met a figure in a red raincoat on the viewing platform. So Crane was wearing a red raincoat? Yes, that's correct. The culprit used the conductor's clothes as a red herring to mislead us. It makes no sense. At the time of the murder, Miss Crane was wearing a red raincoat. Why was she had blood on her hands? It was I who discovered the raincoat near this building. He did. I'm sure it was the forensics team who found it. To be more precise, it was the forensic team under Sebastian's orders who discovered it. I thought as much. According to the blood analysis, the person in the red raincoat and Miss Crane were the same person. The decisive evidence is the culprit's own confession. She testified that she killed her. That's right, the culprit is Kay Faraday. It couldn't have been anyone else but her. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you have any objections, let's hear them. I have no objections. I see. It seems all the fight's gone out of you, after all. I have no objections to your claim that I investigated illegally. I admit to that. However, I object to the claim that Kay is the culprit. No. I will testify that Sebastian's investigation was fair and just. No. He asked me for a fucking objection, bitch. Sit the fuck down. Of course it was, Justine. Don't you know that I'm the fairest of them all? Edgeworth, my boy, despite how things may seem, I actually kind of like you. If, and this is just an if, you see, if you were to withdraw your objection, you might be sitting on this side of the bench tomorrow. We're missing a prosecutor. I'll ask you one more time, Edgeworth, do you have any objections? Don't take me for a fool. I advise you to watch what you say. This man is the one who should watch what he's saying. I'm talking about the case, not about a chair. I demand a testimony. By all means, let me hear it. I want to know how the PIC understands this case. Testimony from us, eh? Fine then. That's what it takes to make you happy. Courtney, give him the materials for the investigation. Sir, but that's... It's the end of the line for him. I'll let him go out in a blaze of glory. If you insist, Mr. Chairman. Received evidence from Judge Courtney. What's the investment? Give me... Oh, I just got all my shit back. Never mind. Why don't we have Courtney give the testimony? I have no objections. Mr. Edgeworth. Don't worry, Gabe. Just watch from over there. Just watch how badass I am. Summary of the case. Miss Crane went to the black market auction as a customer. The red raincoat was one of the items up for auction. We believe that she left her seat after winning the bid for it. The only exit from the storeroom is the hatch that leads to the viewing platform. Miss Crane went out on the viewing platform where she was attacked by Cape Faraday. That was how she met her end, and that concludes my summary of the case. The red raincoat was up for auction. Is that a fact? It's quite likely. Now what? Likely? The red raincoat had been a piece of evidence in the assassination attempt on the President of Zhengfa, as you know well. Originally, it should have been stored in an appropriate place. But when I asked about it, I learned that it went missing. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the fact that you guys are selling evidence from here. And somehow made its way to the black market auction. Certainly a natural conclusion. My, well done, Courtney. Your explanation is clear as ever. I am much obliged. Prosecutor Edgeworth, will you concede defeat now? Fuck no. Sorry, but I don't plan on it. I see. I am relieved. Relieved? What does she mean? Come to think of it. Her reason for questioning me yesterday remains a mystery. I don't know what the fuck she's on. Just what's she thinking? I don't know. She's fucking high or some shit. No fucking clue. It's a customer. I know that. Oh, never mind. I'm a fucking moron. Never mind. Yeah, as a customer. Red raincoat was one of the items up for auction. Sure. Maybe. We believe that she left her seat after winning the bid for it. Yes. Why would the victim immediately leave her seat? That had to do with how the auction was conducted. It seems that after the winning bid, the winner was required to pay for the item immediately. That matches up with Miss Hart's testimony. We believe that Miss Crane paid for a bid for the raincoat, and then immediately tried to leave the auction. The hatch that leads to the The victim was a PIC member. Couldn't she have just also left from the meeting room? If she had done so during the auction, then its existence would have been revealed to the public. As Miss Hart knew about it, it seems the cat is already out of the bag. The customers were required to enter and exit from the hatch. Miss Crane was simply following protocol. Considering where the murder took place, she must have tried to leave through there. The reason why you go through the hatch and not using your card is because it would show up on the reader. And give them whatever. Look, I feel like I could easily use this. Because she was already bleeding. There was already blood found on the scene. Someone was already attacked. Judge Courtney, I have found it strange for a while. Why is Miss Hart here with us? She's an eyewitness to this case. Isn't it only natural for her to be in attendance? Aw, shucks. I reckon I'm more of an ear witness than an eyewitness. Seems that gaining the trust of others isn't your strong point, Judge Courtney. Perhaps I simply do not wish to be as tactless as you. It appears you have failed to get the witness to tell you the most vital information. Please look at this photo. This was taken by Miss Hart. The photo seems to have been taken in the storeroom. And what of it? According to your reasoning, the incident took place on the viewing platform. However, Miss Hart encountered the incident in the storeroom. That's right. It had taken place just before this photo was taken. Wait. If that's true, then Justine's reasoning... Exactly. It does not hold up. What? Miss Hart, allow me to ask you again. You saw the person in that photo with your own eyes, correct? I sure did. I seen him plain as day with my own 2 eyes. And what did you think at the time? Oh, shit. I figured I was about to get my big scoop, you know? I guess that makes sense. That's not what I meant. What did you think of the person? Huh? Well, I reckon she'd help me bring home the bacon. Are you mocking me? Aw, shucks, don't make me that, scary old face. It was just a harmless little joke. The person in the red raincoat? I reckon they were the culprit. I hope you understand now that the crime occurred in the... Prosecutor Edgeworth, I cannot understand your argument if you do not say it out loud. If you had simply asked, I would have been more willing to explain. Explain what? The sounds Miss Hart heard may not necessarily be related to the case. Oh, he was just fucking, like, killing a fucking cat. You're right. Jesus. That's impossible. Enough of your excuses. Was that voice that Miss Hart heard really that of Miss Crane? Such a shady conversation must have had something to do with the case. What did her voice sound like? Her voice? Well, it beats me. How was I supposed to know? They were both using voice changers. Yes, the voices Miss Hart heard had been altered by a device. We must therefore question whether or not they have any bearing on this case. You need not object just because you wish to sigh. Judge Courtney, it seems I have greatly overestimated you. You're a dumb fuck. No, Courtney is amazing, you see? You claim that the sounds Miss Hart heard had no bearing on this case. Even if they do not, it doesn't change the fact that the crime took place in the storeroom. At the very least, the crime must have occurred before the victim went up to the rooftop. The reason being, all the fucking blood. This evidence proves the crime occurred before the victim went up to the viewing platform. Boop, boop, boop. First, I thought the person in the red raincoat was the culprit. Well, Miss Hart's testimony certainly made it sound that way. Precisely, it was because she saw that person's hand was covered in blood. Anyone who heard her testimony would have arrived at the same conclusion. The person in the red raincoat was the culprit, and the blood on their hand was the victim's. However, if the person in the red raincoat was the victim, then the situation changes completely. Then it makes no fucking sense. Since blood can be seen in this photo, it must have been taken after the crime occurred. Seems we've been under the wrong impression regarding the victim's condition. This photo shows the true condition of the victim. The victim was really the conductor. Struck the culprit. Was still alive after the attack. They struck the culprit, I guess? Was still alive after the attack. Struck the culprit, I guess. The victim struck the culprit. That was probably when her hand got covered in blood. Prosecutor Edgeworth, all the blood we found in the crime scene belongs to the victim. Your reasoning doesn't seem to hold up. Okay, I overlooked that. The photo was taken after Miss Hart heard the sound in the storeroom. In that case, the blood on her hand must mean, indeed, there's only one answer. In other words, the victim was still alive. Which is what Kay saw when the victim was passed out on the roof. Kay looked down at the victim, saw that she was like dead, and was like, oh my fucking god, someone just died. And then like dude probably came up like behind her, or came up as well, like while she wasn't paying attention, hit her in the head. The victim was definitely attacked in the storeroom. Immediately afterward, the victim was seen with blood on her hand. That must mean the victim was still alive even after she was attacked. The blood on her hand must have come from her own wound. She was trying to get away. No way. Are you saying that she died from a hand injury? Fuck off, P. Fucking Jesus. No, that's not the case. I suspect she just held her hand against the wound. Fucking why? Jesus Christ. It can't be seen in the photo, but at this moment she must have already suffered a fatal blood wound. If that's true, then it changes a lot of things, you know? Seems you understand that refutes the allegations against Kay. Kay encountered the victim after this picture was taken. I believe at that point in time, the victim was already on the verge of death. It's likely Kay just happened to be present when the victim reached the end of her strength. That is quite the coincidence. Better than a fucking coincidence of you! You're fucking shit. I can always say that she was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Prosecutor Edgeworth, it seems you have forgotten a crucial fact. No, I don't think I've forgotten anything. Yes, you mean that right. He must be pretending that he hasn't noticed it, you see. What did you say? Are you implying that I forgot something? I'll have you know, I forget nothing. Courtney, I think it's about time you gave him his last rites. Hey, Pops, Justine's with me, you know? Don't order her around like that. Sure. You know, even though you're my son, you're so embarrassing. Again, only I get to say that. No, not embarrassing. I'm sorry, but you're both rather embarrassing. Justine, give Mr. Edgeworth his, Very well. I shall give him his last rites. Last rites? When the body was found, there were 3 wounds in Miss Crane's chest. I'm sure you're well of what kind of wounds those were, right? Yeah. Yes, she was stabbed in the heart with a 3-pronged candelabra. Is there any person who could survive such an injury? Please take a close look at the autopsy report. Can you still say the same thing after reading it? Well done, Justine. With this, Mr. Edgeworth will. I will offer a rebuttal, of course. I mean, it's kind of easy, no? Huh? Why would you do that? Didn't you just hear what Justine said? Of course I did, and I still plan to object to it. It's not fair! You're always you're always opposing me at every turn. It was never my intention to oppose you. Huh? Really? It's simply not worth my time. I mean, it really isn't. That's enough, you know. You're embarrassing your father, you see? Huh? What do you mean, Pops? They found the body, there are 3 wounds. I'll probably have to present the autopsy report thing. 3-pronged candelabra, she was. Is there any person who could survive such an injury? No, there isn't. Where's my autopsy report? No, not the testimony. Autopsy report. Yeah, head was post-mortem. Okay. Never mind. Though I feel like this... If there was blood, she had to have been hit in the head first. Can you still say the same thing after reading? I don't know, can you read it? Stab wound to the left chest with the candelabra, head wound was after. There's blood on her hand, though. Fuck. Okay. Judge Courtney, don't you have a problem with that statement just now? Press on this. So the cause of death was a stab wound to the heart, is that correct? Yes, the candelabra pierced right into her heart. Since this was Dr. Young's medical opinion, it must be the truth. See, that right there just seems so fake to me. I feel like this is just fake. The coroner's medical opinion follows my opinion. Therefore, it's perfect. I certainly can ignore the autopsy reports, however. Hey, don't ignore my opinion. However, if the cause of death was a stab wound to the victim's chest, wouldn't it contradict that piece of evidence? Oh, he's totally ignoring me. Justine, say something. Yes, I will not allow you to ignore my reasoning. Present. Just this picture, I guess? No? Okay, fuck. Nope, doesn't contradict that. Why not? Fuck. Well, because she would have been stabbed. She had blood on her. Unless it's someone else's fucking blood. I guess it's true. She was stabbed in the chest. Three pronged candelabra. What fucking thing does it contradict? This? Because if she was stabbed in the chest, this wouldn't have happened. Try this? Nope. Okay, fuck. Okay. I actually don't know what it is. Fuck. Uh-huh. Can I just press this again? I need to read through it. Just slowly. Perfect. The cause of the death was a stab wound to the victim's chest. Wouldn't it contradict that piece of evidence? But what piece of evidence? It's this one. Stab wound. It's a burn mark. Head wound was post-mortem. It's not that. Wait, it could be Lotta's testimony. Nope, nothing. No. Already used that. The only thing I can think of is just the autopsy report. But she was stabbed in the heart with the candelabra. Like, that's just true. But the problem is, how did she get up there? What blood were found on the hood? This? Thank God! Oh, God. Whew. The shot in the dark. The save. Chairman de Best, do you know what this is? It seems to be a red raincoat. How about it, Courtney? The victim, Miss Crane, was wearing this earlier. Prosecutor Edgeworth, must I repeat my explanation to you all over again? It's going to be like, if she was actually wearing that, she would have been dead. Because she would have been stabbed through the chest with that, with the raincoat on, and there would have been a fuck ton of blood. You wouldn't have been able to change outfits out of it. Or at least that's how I view this, personally. Whether that's the truth or not is going to be subjective. I suppose it just might come to that. Judge Courtney, answer me this. This red raincoat was stained with blood. Do you happen to remember where specifically those blood stains were located? Yeah, it would have been coated in blood. Of course I do. They were on the hood. Wait, it can't be. What does that mean? Judge Courtney, were there any other bloodstains besides the one on the hood? What this either proves is that there's some evidence here that's wrong. Either the autopsy is wrong because it wouldn't be post-mortem, or it wouldn't be the victim, or there's a third one that I'm fucking braining out on. We're detected. Don't you think it's strange? The victim died from a stab wound to the chest. In that case, there should have been bloodstains on the front of the raincoat. However, the only blood found was on the hood. There is a huge contradiction. The wound on the victim's head is no ordinary wound. After all, the victim sustained this wound before she was stabbed in the chest. Wrong. The autopsy report says otherwise. It says it's post-mortem. Which means something has to be wrong. It does appear that way, doesn't it? The victim first suffered the head wound. If she had already been stabbed in the chest, the raincoat would have been stained with blood. Therefore, it is unthinkable that the chest was stabbed before she suffered the head wound. So in order of the wounds to be first the head followed by the chest. However, does that really change the situation? Yeah, it proves that the autopsy report's wrong. It's huge. With this, a contradiction is born, one that overturns all of our assumptions until now. The idea that this autopsy is correct. Is the change really that great? I look forward to hearing it. Well then, this contradiction. Why don't you show it to me? With evidence. Which piece of evidence shows the contradiction that arises from the order of the wounds? The autopsy report. This is the autopsy report written by Dr. Young. According to this, the head wound was post-mortem. But that's not what the raincoat shows. Exactly, it's the exact opposite. Bailiff, hurry and summon Dr. Bonnie Young at once. Until we hear what she has to say, we cannot close the curtains on this case. Yes, ma'am. Understood. Dr. Young is a busy person. It will take some time for her to arrive. In the meantime, let us try viewing this case from another angle. There's something that's been on my mind. Of the key figures in this case, the conductor, we still don't know who that person is. Now that you mention it, even after our investigation, we still have no idea who it is. The conductor has come up time and time again during this hearing. However, at this point in time, their identity remains a mystery. How about it? Do you have any ideas? No, I don't need any ideas. You can figure that on your own. Wink. I'm still not sure at the moment. However, there is someone I have in mind. A certain individual involved at this case who might know something about it. Who's that? Blaise de Best, I demand your testimony. What? Don't say such a stupid thing. Why would you suspect Pops? Are you trying to cast suspicion towards the chairman of the PIC? Do you understand what that means? Status and prestige mean nothing before the truth. That man is trying to pin the crime on Kay, the evidence that was in Kay's possession, the ticket stub, the mask, the corsage. These items did not come into her possession out of her own volition. By some method, that man purposely planted them on her personage. It is hard to believe such a sudden accusation, but I'll ask just in case. Why would he do that? Obviously, to direct suspicion towards Kay. I succeeded in drawing out those words from him earlier. Mr. Chairman, your response? I didn't say anything. Are you too shocked to speak? And what of it? Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said, what of it? You say that you drew out some words of me, but you don't have a shred of proof, you know? No one else heard it but you. It just doesn't work like that, you see? Or do you have something else? You know, some kind of basis for your argument? His confidence. He's also showed it at that cell. Well, that's because he knows at this point. He just doesn't have to say anything. You already blew your load. He's not going to get baited again into falling for it. And he only did it because no one was listening. Because he's a cockbag. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I would like you to explain once more. I trust we have your permission, Mr. Chairman. But of course, I'm pretty interested in this matter myself, you know. I'd like to know just what part of me seems criminal to Edgeworth. What part doesn't, buddy? There's no one as honest as I am, you see. Doubt? How can he say that with a straight face? It's not. Let's start from the top. The fact that the auction was held in this room is cause for suspicion. This is the PIC meeting room. I imagine it would be difficult for non-members to enter. That's why all the members have key cards, you know. I think we can assume that multiple auctions have been held here before. Therefore, suspecting a member of the PIC would be the best. Yes, because the conductor had to be a member of the PIC. Wait, no! What was that all about?
What do I do, Pops? I just helped the enemy.
Sebastian really is an idiot, you know. But you see, Edgeworth, I'm not the only one with access, you know. Indeed. There are 11 members in the PIC. What does it mean it only has to be you two? Even if we rule out the victim, Miss Crane, there's still 10 potential suspects. Then we gotta investigate all of them, buddy.